I still occasionally have difficulties with it now. It's very powerful, incantatory, impacted writing. Yes, this is the great elegy, the great pastoral elegy, really.
But all of this information, like everything he's learned by rote, all this factual information, a very Wittgensteinian world as outlined in the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, because I've never read anything like it.
At the height of his powers, he wrote everything books with a capital E. He tries to encapsulate a cosmos.
His capacity, which is shared by all great writers, I would say, of writing what is essentially a love letter to a world that is endlessly messed up and evil.
Hi everybody, now today I want to talk about one of my favorite novels, and that is Ready Player One. In my opinion, it is peak postmodernist perfection. Now, I totally own a copy of this book. I just don't have it on me right now. I read half of the book and then listened to the other half on ebook. Now, I'm not going to go over the story of Ready Player One. It's as old as time as Moby Dick or, Lot's daughter is getting impregnated by Lot while he's passed out because they gave him a lot of wine. I want to go over a lot of the themes and symbolisms in the novel, and it is just so densely packed and perfect. And the thing is, with a lot of postmodernist stuff, they talk about a lot of stupid stuff. Chop cat! Like, the war, or systems that are too great for us, the industrial complex, just nonsense. Ernest Cline just has a beautiful way just to pack in all these same elements and put a new twist on it, but do it into something that's really relevant. That being stupid 80s pop culture. So what he employs a lot in this novel is the element of pastiche. We all know taking something old and combining it with something new. But he does something so incredible where he draws from 80s culture into like a 2000s neo-cyberpunk aesthetic. So he's taking the new and combining it with the new. Just brilliant. I mean, you get all these stupid dissertations with Umberto Eco into medieval politics, and who really cares besides academics, to be completely honest? Or Pynchon with Gravity's Rainbow in World War II? It's just not relevant to the average reader anymore. But you know what is relevant? Atari 2600. And we have the idea of the Oasis in this book, which is such an astounding sci-fi concept, where everybody's logged into this MMORPG-like game, and all the kids go to school within that RPG. I mean, the concept of kids not leaving their rooms and having to go to school inside their house and not have day-to-day interactions, it's kind of tough to relate to in a lot of sense, because that just seems so far removed from our world. Now, he has to go through all the Easter eggs, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but they're pretty amazing. Like the one where he has to go into the simulation of war games and repeat each sentence line by line within the movie. That's crazy. I mean, if you really think about it, people like Joyce spent 700 chapters recreating Dublin, Ireland within the scope of Ulysses and that frame narrative. And Klein is able to do that within one challenge out of this novel. And he just shows that he has a very strong understanding of what his forerunners were trying to do, but also a mastery over that where he doesn't have to waste your time with 700 chapters or good prose or setting or character development. He's able just to get it down to the basic raw element. I mean, if you think about it, what does Dublin Island have to do with Ulysses and the Odyssey? But what does War Games have to do with a virtual reality world? Exactly. Now, I want to share this with you, so I'm going to let book wizard and part-time banjo player Christopher Robinson, no relation, to do the next part of the review segment for me.
Hi, everybody. My name's Christopher Robinson. I'm on Instagram as BigHoleHNW. In my relatively brief span of time on this earth so far, I have read a lot of really magnificent work from a lot of really magnificent authors. I've just immersed myself in great stylists, and I'm lucky to have experienced so much of the peak, so to speak, of style. But every now and again a book comes around and just catches me completely off guard. And this is one of those books. I'm going to make some bold statements here, but bear with me. First of all, forget everything you know or thought you knew about the musicality of prose. Like, forget William H. Gass and James Joyce and just dump them right out of your brain. It's not bad work, but, it's... When you put it up against something like this, you can't help but see the flaws and see that stuff is lacking. Like, nowhere are you going to find, like, anything that even remotely achieves the heights that are reached in Ready Player One. As for deep insights into the human condition, like, forget Musil and his fucking man without qualities, and forget Laszlo Krasznahorkai and W.G. Sebald. Fuck, for that matter, forget Shakespeare and tell Schopenhauer and Nietzsche and Robert Burton and the William T. Volmans of the world to just fuck off. Because all of that it's child's play, for lack of a better way of putting it. It's child's play compared to Ready Player One.
Eve, why is my cat sneezing? And just like the emotional core of the novel too, where like at the end of it he gets the girl. I mean, like, do you see that in every novel ever written? Yes, but Klein is able to do it in this Shakespearean, Star Trekian, Star Warsian way that I've never seen done before, where the main character accomplishes all his goals that he set out to do in the novel, and then through that he gets the girl, so you really feel like he earns it. No one can say, like, isn't that a bit like princess syndrome-y? But that just goes to show that Ernest Cline is a very strong biological essentialist, and so he knows where to put women in his books, I'll tell you that. He's like the Haruki Murakami in that sense. It also shows his just love of basic mechanics in glitching and speedrunning, like on the race where he decides to go backwards to travel the track, and that's how he gets the Easter egg. And apparently that's what every racing game does in the beginning to see if you can cheese the system. But just that level of detail, and not getting too nerdy into it, but just dumbing it down for the rest of us. I mean, how many novels have you read where there's just so many esoteric references, and it's like, what are you trying to do, man? Stop telling me you're an academic. I get it. I mean, Alexander Thoreau uses words that even like historians have difficulty understanding because they're 300 years old. Nobody cares about a lexicon like that. It's just to jerk himself off. Klein is a real author for the average man, just eating the beef jerky while sitting on the toilet. So in summary, this is just a beautiful novel, and I just can't recommend it enough to so many people, and just readers of different calibers and classes. But the unfortunate thing, I can see a lot of people in the harder literary community not taking to this novel. I mean, just because it had a CGI Fest movie made of it, that's not really fair to this novel. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of novels have that are still great. Brothers Karamazov had a movie made after it. The Name of the Rose had a movie. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas apparently had a terrible movie made after it. And Slaughterhouse-Five even had a movie made after it. And so did Inherent Vice. So to judge this book just based off of the Slock movie that I didn't watch but watched a little bit of media review of, it's just not fair to this novel. And, it really should be held up there higher. Let's be honest, guys. Star Wars is our mythology. Nerd culture is our culture now. We just have to accept it. You're not going to get a swirly or beat up for referencing these things. Ernest Cline, he went through the dredges for us, and he didn't let go of this. He didn't go to jock culture or try to be a normal person. He really embraced this stupid shit nobody cares about and just really elevated it to a paperback novel you'll buy at an airport. So please, go pick up this novel. Go to your local Barnes & Nobles, pick it up, carry it to the cash register. Don't be ashamed. Don't try to stack it between two classics like some dirty porno DVD. Just embrace this novel and enjoy it. Also, I didn't read this book. I just watched the Red Letter Media Review and the Wikipedia page, so I'm never reading it.